Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you're here today. This is one of those conversations that goes a little deeper than headlines and hit songs, so get comfortable. Today we're talking about Lil Jon, but not just the artist you hear shouting iconic ad-libs. We're looking at him through a more human lens, as a father, as a public figure, and as someone whose family life occasionally sparks curiosity online, especially when people search about his son. Why does that interest us so much? And what does it say about how we view celebrities and their families? Lil Jon, born Jonathan Smith, is globally known for his high-energy music, crunk anthems, and unmistakable voice. For years, his public persona has been loud, playful, and over-the-top. But like many artists, that's only one side of who he is. Offstage, Lil Jon has spoken openly about being a family man and a devoted father. And that contrast alone makes people curious. How does someone so explosive on the mic switch into a calm, grounded role at home? Isn't it interesting how we expect public personalities to be the same everywhere they go? Lil Jon has largely kept his son out of the spotlight, which is a deliberate choice. In an era where celebrity kids often grow up under constant public attention, that decision stands out. It raises an important question. Just because someone is famous, does their family automatically owe the world access to their lives? Lil Jon seems to have answered that question clearly. Family comes first, privacy included. When Lil Jon has mentioned his son in interviews, it's usually with pride and respect. He's talked about wanting to be present, supportive, and intentional as a father. That might surprise some people who only know him from club bangers and festival stages, but maybe it shouldn't. After all, can't someone be both high energy and deeply thoughtful? Don't most of us carry multiple versions of ourselves, depending on where we are and who we're with? What's especially compelling is how Lil Jon's parenting approach mirrors a broader shift among artists of his generation. Many musicians who came up during intense, demanding eras of fame are now choosing balance over constant exposure. They're asking themselves what legacy really means. Is it just the music we leave behind, or is it the way we show up for the people closest to us? There's also something powerful about what Lil Jon doesn't share. In a world driven by oversharing, silence can be a statement. By keeping his son mostly out of public view, Lil Jon allows him the freedom to grow, choose his own path, and decide later whether he even wants a public life. That kind of choice is rare for children of celebrities. And it makes you think, if you had the spotlight, would you protect your loved ones the same way? Another layer here is how fans respond. People searching for Lil Jon's son aren't always being intrusive. Often, they're curious because they've grown up with Lil Jon's music and want to understand the person behind it. There's a natural human instinct to connect the dots, to see how success, fame, and family intersect. But where do we draw the line between curiosity and entitlement? Lil Jon himself has evolved over the years. You've seen it not just in interviews, but in his actions, from charitable work to appearances that show a calmer, more reflective side. Fatherhood tends to do that. It reshapes priorities, it forces perspective, and it often makes people ask deeper questions about who they are beyond their careers. Has there ever been a moment in your life that made you rethink what truly matters? What's refreshing about Lil Jon's story as a parent is that it doesn't come with drama or spectacle. There are no viral scandals, no forced publicity moments. Just a clear sense that fame is something he does, not something that defines his family. That distinction is important, especially in today's culture where visibility is often mistaken for value. So when people ask about Lil Jon's son, maybe the more interesting takeaway isn't who he is, but why his father chose to protect his normalcy. Maybe that's the real flex, not the charts, not the awards, but the ability to give your child a life that isn't shaped by public expectation. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. When we look at celebrities, are we more interested in their talent or in their humanity? And when those two sides meet, onstage energy and offstage responsibility, what can we learn from how they balance it? If you enjoyed this more reflective take, make sure to give the video a like. It really helps the channel grow. Share it with someone who enjoys looking beyond the surface of fame. And don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful, human-centered stories about the people behind pop culture. Thanks so much for spending your time here with me, and I'll see you in the next one.